Good afternoon. This is Oshiro. I'm your American English pronunciation coach. Sorry, I got stuck. Tumble. Uh, Today now, I before this session, this episode, I did the same live streaming in Japanese regarding this free American English pronunciation session. But this time, I decided to give it a try in English so that those students who are taking my lessons from me uh, perhaps to be able to find some benefit from this. Because I always kept telling them to find as many opportunity as possible to speak up and speak and they use their English. But then I never show them, how. It's not. I don't know whether this will be the really good example, but I try. I want to do the same in the same way as my students do. Now, today's session's title is about free American English pronunciation session. The reason I decided to hold this is that I want to teach as many Japanese people about English and English, especially English pronunciation. Without it, you won't be able to learn or acquire English so quick within a limited time of period, within a limited period of time. The I was born. Let me tell you, about myself, right? Before I get into this details about the session. That is that I was born and raised in Okinawa, which is the southernmost island of Okinawa. At the age of 18, I decided to try go to the United States under a scholarship program sponsored by the American government. And luckily, I passed it, and that enabled me, allowed me to visit. To go to the United States. The first year I spent on first, another first freshman year, I spent at the University of New Mexico, Albuquerque. But then I wanted to study. If I want to study the journalism, already made up my mind to be a journalist. So of course, I'm majored in journalism though. But the Albuquerque, University of Albuquerque, the New Mexico wasn't that well known for that journalism. So I decided to maybe study at the best one in the States if I want to study journalism. Then I applied for many colleges and then I was accepted. One of them was this University of Missouri at Columbia. So second year through senior, I spent there. And but as frankly speaking, the first 2 years I had a very difficulty in and understanding what the other Americans say, and also making myself understood. The reason being that my pronunciation was so the it was full of American, the Japanese strong Japanese accent. In other words, I used to speak English with the strong Japanese accent, which made that America, whoever is listened to my English, couldn't take it because it was so stressful listening to the way of speaking in with this Japanese strong Japanese accent. That's why at the end of the second year, which is sophomore, I decided to take lessons, private lessons from a teacher who was teaching the pronunciation and the speaking right to stage actors and actresses. So what I did is I took the 2 or 3 times a week regarding this how to improve my pronunciation was very it was very tough. But what I was really surprised to find out is that at the end of third, I mean, 3 months, I start being able to pick up word, each sound clearly and distinctly. So it was amazing just because I took this, I mean, what was, very intensive study on this pronunciation. But thanks to that, this, made me be able to understand the English clearly. So that's the reason I decided to start and teach American English pronunciation to Japanese. So I'd like to share this, information and my experiences with as many students, as many Japanese as possible. So I decided to give this, provide this free online American English pronunciation lessons or sessions. Now, I know that, I mean, I'm not trying to limit those who can apply for my session, but regarding, the problems they have, perhaps I should point it out just like this. In other words, some people think that, as long as you can make understood, it's okay. I don't care about how I pronounce, how my pronunciation sounds. But the most of the cases, if you can't understand what the other person is saying, you cannot make yourself understood either. That's why I say the pronunciation is very important, especially when it comes to learning English. And that's one thing, right? So that's the person who having difficulty understanding and also making themselves understood. That's one of the criteria for this. Applying for this session. Now, second one is that the some Japanese, just like me, teaching English to other Japanese about how to pronounce or how to uh, uh, speak English, but most of them because they haven't had any the good lessons or from the intensive lesson, just like mine, from a proper or that's the qualified teacher about how to pronounce correctly. They're having a difficulty in teaching their students about pronunciation. So if they don't know much about pronunciation, of course they cannot teach their students about pronunciation, right? That's second one. The third one, even that the students ask the teacher about the pronunciation, sir or ma'am, how should I pronounce this? How do I pronounce this word? But because of the because the lack of this training, and also she or he, the teacher, doesn't know much about this pronunciation. He cannot, or the teacher cannot teach the students about this pronunciation or proper or correct pronunciation. And a lot of people, especially Japanese, a lot of people learn uh, English by themselves. And of course, some of them go to the English language schools, or they take the lessons directly from some teachers. But I have to be honest with you, most of the teacher, what I know, especially teaching English, are have a very well. I should yeah. I mean, they have a little difficulty pronouncing it. I can tell them, and also whenever they talk, I listen to them, and then pronunciation, well, wasn't that as good as they should be. That's why perhaps that those who have studied pronunciation by themselves, should come to me for some sort of advice. I mean, I the as long as I mean the pronunciation goes, I think I know how to improve the this pronunciation. That's another thing, right? Next one, a lot of people, as I said, have had complexity, meaning that they have the pronunciation is one of their major challenges, especially Japanese. So perhaps that they don't know, but that they don't know what to do with it. So if I can be helpful in overcoming or the learning how to study pronunciation, I'll be willing to help you. And lastly, that those who are already working inside or on the site of the military American military bases, perhaps, and having but the so many the Japanese tend to speak with the way that in a way that Japanese, what we call Japanese English. It's we have so many more than 2,000 Japanese the English or imported words from English. So that's why we often use this Japanese English, but so the different from the correct or the proper pronunciation. Not many Americans, especially when they hear them for the first time, they wouldn't be able to understand it. So if you have trouble making yourself understood, please join this session. I'll be willing to help you out. That's all. I mean, that's what I think I have covered most of the things I want to say. Thank you so much for listening. And if possible, I'd like to come back to this session again and give my opinion about this views on pronunciation. Thank you very much. Bye now.